Sheriff Bob and his crews of gangster detectives did a whole lot of crazy stuff to Lorelei and I. It's honestly so much it's been hard to get across. There's tons happening behind the scenes, lots happening in the courts, but the violence between me and these sheriffs takes the cake. A whole lot of it, too. Now, let's just talk about one story in particular, because this one might have been when a switch kind of flipped for these guys and the concern started to mount that everything I was saying was true and they were definitely going to be doing some time. A detective that we've already talked about on the page, named Detective Wolverton, cooked up a fraudulent warrant as part of this raid that was performed on me and my daughter, crazily enough. They hit us at the pool, but then when that failed and they couldn't neutralize me through labeling me as some type of threat and just pulling the trigger, they then moved to trying to coerce their way into my apartment. They were saying they had paperwork but wouldn't let me read it. They decided to break in anyway, though. They had no legal authority, there was no basis to this warrant, and no actual crime could have occurred because they never served me with the initial paperwork. Can't be in violation of an order that doesn't exist. So while they were beating the hell out of me in the, right outside the pool and then inside their vehicles, having good fun, hotboxing me and all sorts of stupid stuff, they decided to then take me to the psych ward to try and commit me through that means and silence me that way. But the main play, I think, was trying to get criminal charges to stick. These guys broke into my home, stole a whole bunch of stuff, busted the whole place up, and had some proper fun in there. But they stole my Adderall as well. I guess somebody had to get high. Evidence on SD cards of police misconduct, which is ironic, but also evidence suppression. And they really followed through. They stole my firearms, just trashed the place, and then had a CSI team come in to document child neglect after they destroyed my kid's room. Allegedly, most likely. But they followed through. They really filed probable cause affidavits right up to the state's attorney's office. They were trying to put me away on 3 felony violations, 5 years apiece potentially. And then they were going to start stacking in everything else that they were writing in the reports, that I was threatening police officers, I was resisting arrest, fighting cops, all types of crazy stuff. But while I'm sitting in the psych ward, for some reason, these charges just, poof, disappear. Every single one of them is just dropped like it never existed and found to be legally baseless. Completely false. How'd that happen? That must have seemed like magic to you and your detectives, Bob. The last day that I was in the psych ward, I think they realized they couldn't keep me there either, and they screwed up that part of the plan as well. 2 detectives from the threat management unit over at Pinellas County Sheriff's decided to pay me a visit and try to be my buddy. One of them was employing coercive torture tactics on me about 12 days prior, so I recognized him immediately as the bad cop in the situation. This Detective Urato looked to be a little green and gave up a whole lot of really good information. We got into a proper argument in front of a witness, to the point where this witness thought I was insane. I was in the psych ward, they were claiming I was delusional and threatening everybody, fighting cops, all this craziness. But for some reason they're not charging me, and I'm arguing with you about civil rights violations. And you're just taking it, trying to tell me that, oh, we care about veterans, we didn't want to see you arrested. Bullshit, the reports prove otherwise. You were there scared and trying to manage the optics of the whole situation. You realized that wasn't going to be the case, and then you decided to try and take my kid. But you guys screwed that up as well. That conversation with your detectives was the exact moment I knew that there was absolutely nothing you guys could do to me in any way, shape, or form. Because I wasn't guilty of a crime, you knew that. It was all retaliation, and you were just trying to manage it for as long as you could. But as you can tell, I'm not stopping. All right, Bob. Never going to either.